Hello, Abnormal Investigations. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys and to give you all content. I appreciate the support that each and every one of you are giving us. It means a whole lot to us. I have an encounter here, guys, out of Tallahassee, Florida. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hello, my name is Matthew and I live in Tallahassee, Florida. The only reason I am giving out my city is because I want people who live around here to be aware that there is a creature lurking around Florida's capital. I am 15 years old, and I've never really believed in the supernatural or paranormal. But after a few months ago, I really don't know what to believe. I've only had one encounter with this thing, and I pray I never have another. The encounter happened back in December of 2017, about a week before Christmas. It was a peaceful night, and I was sleeping on my couch as I fell asleep watching TV. I woke up around 1 a.m. when I heard my dog barking to be let outside. This was nothing unusual. He normally gets me up a few times a night to use the bathroom. So I got up, half asleep, to unlock my sliding glass door and let my dog out. About 15 minutes passed and he hasn't barked to be let in. This was odd. So I slide the door open to call out his name. Now my house has 2 stories and I was upstairs. We have a deck on the second floor, so when I went out to call my dog's name, I can practically see the whole backyard. We have a little wooded area in our backyard, not too big and not too small. I thought he must have gone back there, so being really tired, irritated, and being 30-something degrees outside, I got a flashlight, put on my shoes, and went out to look for my dog. As I was walking into the woods, I finally found my dog. Tried to call him over to me. As I was doing this, I noticed that the normal noises you hear outside at night, such as frogs, crickets, etc., had stopped. As strange as I thought it was, I ignored it and finally got my dog to walk over to me. I then gagged as I noticed an awful strong smell. At that point, I just wanted to get the hell out of there. I had my dog by my side and we started walking back to the house. As we were walking, my dog started barking at the bushes to the right of us. I looked over and what I saw next traumatized me for the rest of my life. When I looked to the right, I saw a tall, dark figure. It must have been at least 8 feet tall. It had a large, muscular body like a bodybuilder. It had a head like a German Shepherd, with a large snout and long, razor-sharp teeth. This thing had hands instead of paws. How do I know this? Because of what happened next. As I went to run to the house, something grabbed my dog's leash that I had attached to him because he was not listening, and sometimes I have to use it to get him into the house. And as I was pulling the dog toward the house, something grabbed the center of the leash, jerking my dog away from me. I ran for the house, scared to death. I ran inside, yelled for my mom and dad, told them what had happened. My mom and dad immediately called 911. The police arrived and, of course, got my side of the story, and I told them what I had seen, and they kind of laughed and said it was probably some people playing a prank on me that my dog would probably show back up. I still did not think if it was a prank that it was funny because my dog is like my little child. It's my best friend. And I heard my dog yelping, so I knew it wasn't happy. It had to be hurt or afraid or scared. The police promised that they would check the neighborhood the rest of the night and try to find my dog. The next morning came, and my dog was not back, and we called the police department to see if they had seen my dog. They had not. So, the next day, I spent the evening and day yelling and whistling and calling for my dog, hoping that he would come running to me. And as evening came, we did not see my dog, and I became very sad. My dad says someone must have stolen it because it was a full-blood poodle, and full-blood poodles, you know, can be worth a little bit of money. But this was my best friend. I was laying in my bed. Yes, I was sad and had tears in my eyes when I heard a scratching at the window. I looked at the window, and as happy as I could be, it was my dog. She was looking in the window at me. I jumped up and I ran to the back door and ran outside and I called and called and called her. And someone, don't know who or what, but something threw something and hit me in the face, knocking me to the ground. It hurt really bad. My face was numb. I was bleeding, and I could see all the blood in my hand, and it freaked me out. I ran inside screaming for my mom and dad. They come running downstairs. They were screaming. Mom rushed me over to the sink while my dad dialed 911. They rinsed my face off in the sink, trying to get me to stop bleeding. There was lots and lots of blood, and I kept hearing my dad yell, "Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from?" as they washed me. The police and everybody arrived, and then when they came in, of course, the first responders and ambulance was there also, and they came over and started attending to me. They could not find where I was injured except for one side of my nose was bleeding, and of course my lip was cut just a little, but I had blood in my hair and everywhere. And then the police officer yells at my dad to come here. On the back porch, laying on the back porch, was my little dog's head. It had been chewed off. The body of the dog was up in our tree that was directly outside of our back door. Something had eaten the entrails out of my dog, and they were strung all down the tree, just hanging like vines. I screamed, got nauseated, and threw up. The police done a report, and they said that it had to be a bunch of hoaxers, very evil people. But I told them I know what I saw that night. And you know what that got me out of seeing that? It got me put into counseling. I didn't even have a choice. The police done a report saying that I was expressing my feelings on what I had seen, so I was ordered to go to counseling. And you know what? They keep pushing day in, day out that I did not see that I saw somebody in a mask. And now I'm to the point to where I know that if I don't ever admit to this, they're never going to let me live my life and be my person. So I know what's going to have to happen. I'm going to have to deny what I seen that night and what happened to my best friend. I wanted to share this with you guys because it's very sad. Well, it is very sad. It goes to show you that if they'll take your dog from beside you, look at all the missing children in the woods and in our national forests that go missing just feet from their parents or their guardians or, grandma, grandpa. These things have no problem taking an opportunity. I think that night, if your dog was, everything eaten mostly, that this creature was probably hungry, looking for a meal, and you saw your poodle. What makes me worry and think about is that night when you was out there, how close you probably really was to it, because if your dog hadn't came back, had already had your dog, and did you interrupt the hunt? Is that how you was able to at least get the leash on him? I think you got pretty lucky that you walked out of there yourself, because if all that was happening at that time, well, there's a good chance that you probably walked right in the middle of a hunt. I'd be careful. Again, like I tell everybody else, get you some lights around your house. If your dog has to go to the restroom at night, at least go to a very lit area. Maybe even wake your mom or dad up and have them go out with you. Alone is never good, and I know that I'm saying what I do a lot is do go alone, but I don't have a choice right now as to go alone. But alone is never good. But I would just take extra precautions, a bright flashlight, maybe even carry you a air horn on you, one of the smaller air horns. Could possibly get you help and also maybe run off whatever's there, because I'm sure their hearing is way more sensitive than ours. And use your light if you're not able to have a sidearm or something, to defend yourself with. I'm sorry about your dog. I know they are our best friends, and your dog being in a fenced-in yard and everything, we would think that our dogs are safe. Another thing you may think about doing is, if it causes you a lot of trouble, is maybe clearing out that little small part of woods you have in your backyard and take away a place for it to be able to hide and ambush your future pets. So thank you for sharing this with us. I look forward to sharing more encounters with you guys, and also to the YouTube members and the Patreon members. You got a video coming out, so be watching for it. That's a part of your perk, and you'll have extra information in that video also, and a heads up on some things. So thank you all for watching. Keep your head on a swivel, and until next time, don't be something's dinner. And also, if you'd like to join our Patreon, the Patreon link is in the description of this video. Thank you for watching.